Welcome back, everybody. It's a brand new week and we've got some more fun in the works. Look at these beautiful huge shrimp I've got. We've got some fun little frog legs. We're gonna get these bad boys kicking. We're gonna have some fun today in honor of May the 4th, otherwise known as Star Wars Day. We know a lot of our customers are fans. We're all fans. So we figure, why not do a very classy dish in honor of this day? So we are gonna go ahead and do that. So I've got some frog's legs that I've already defrosted. I've got some shrimp that are ready to go. I've got my pot ready, which I'm gonna go ahead and get that started. If I can. There we go. There it is. So we'll get that started. We're gonna just prepare these all very, very simply. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, be real tasty. Oh, and also with you. See, look at that. Again, let's take another look at these. These are so good and they're super fun. And a lot of people don't realize we carry them, but we do. They're all individually frozen. They come per pair. And they're pretty cost effective and just kind of a fun little way to celebrate our Star Wars Day. So, while my pan heats up here, I'm gonna get some things ready. And I'm gonna start by removing the shells from my shrimp. However, I'm going to be using them, so I want to save them. We talk a lot about how cooking with the shrimp shells on can impart a lot of extra flavor. So we don't want to lose that flavor with this dish. So I'm gonna actually use it as part of my sauce. So what I'm gonna do is just peel these. These are the easy peels, so they're already split down the back, so it makes peeling them very, very easy. They've already been deveined, so again, this process is very, very simple and perfect for our uses today. Again, I'm gonna keep these shells so that I can use them to, build some additional flavor into our sauce at the end here. So we're gonna do these, again, fairly traditionally. I'm just gonna kind of sear these in the pan. And then I'm gonna build a real basic butter kind of white wine sauce to pour over the top of them. Again, keeping it real, real classy, because that's how we do. And one more, and we are good to start cooking. So, we wanna get the frog legs on first, because those take the longest. They're a little bit thicker. They don't take long. Again, we're just looking to cook these through. And a lot of people ask, what do frog legs taste like? And they do kind of taste a little bit like chicken. So I've got my flour here. I'm gonna go ahead and just add these have been very well dried. So I'm just gonna add these to my pan, or my pot of flour, and I'm just gonna get them nice and dusted, like so. And I'm gonna add a little bit of vegetable oil into my pan to get the sear started. You don't need a lot. And we just want to develop some really nice color on them. And again, sort of just cook them through. So these have all been nice and floured. I want to also season them. That's always important. You don't want unseasoned frog's legs. So go ahead, just hit them with some salt here, like so. Now I'm going to go ahead and take them and just lay them in my pan. And they start sizzling right away, which is a good sign. Shake off that extra flour. Just set them in there like so. And then I'm going to season the other side like so. And we're just going to let those start to kind of fry off. We're going to do the same thing with our shrimp. So the shrimp are going to go right into my flour, like so. And we're gonna get these with just a light little dusting of flour. Again, this is gonna help develop a nice crust on the outside. Again, I've still got my shells. Remember, we're gonna be using those shells, so I don't wanna get rid of them. I'm gonna season this front side. I'm gonna just toss them in my flour. Make sure they're well coated. Again, the drier your seafood is, the better that flour is going to stick. The shrimp are pretty good. All right, these are seasoned. We go ahead and season the backside here. And now let's check out how these frog's legs are doing. Oh, they're getting that nice, beautiful brown crust. That's great, that's exactly what we want. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and add in our shrimp now as well and get those cooking. Again, this is all gonna cook up fairly quickly. And then we're gonna build a sauce in the pan using all this flavor that's gonna be left behind from all this. So this is gonna be quite tasty. And again, very easy, you know, basically a one-pot dish here we're working with. Oh, that searing fish and those frog legs smell super good. Doing real nice here. We're also developing a fond on the bottom of our pan. So that fond is all the stuff that kind of sticks. You got frog legs from Union Grill. Nice! The Leap Day frog legs. That was a smart move. We did a little bit of promotion for that, but it was such a great, fun way to go. All right. Go ahead and flip these frog legs. Looking pretty tasty here. The pan's looking a little dry. Some of that flour has soaked up some of that oil a little bit. I'm gonna add just a touch more. So we make sure to get things real cooking nicely. Oh yeah. It's looking really, really, really good. Those shrimp are starting to get nice and golden brown as well. Frog legs. Absolutely beautiful. So again, frog legs is something that, you know, a lot of people are hesitant about, obviously. You have an issue with the bones. Like, well, you know, it is what it is. You like them or you don't, for sure. But it's a fun little thing. Plus, you know, you can always take the meat off the bones just like you would chicken. You know, it's not as much, but you certainly could do that and, you know, toss them into a stir fry or however. Or just do the shrimp. That also will work just fine. These shrimp have just a really nice crust on them already. Perfect. Exactly what we're looking for here. Frog legs are starting to get really nice brown crust. Really beautiful. And again, I'm developing a lot of flavor in this pan right now. There's a lot that's going on. Again, that flour is sort of toasting and sticking to the bottom a little bit. And we're going to deglaze the white wine and pick all that up, which is going to help thicken our sauce at the end. Which is exactly what we want to have happen. Oh yeah, this is looking super good. I'm gonna grab just a little platter here so I can have something to set my stuff off to the side on. Look at that. Great. Great, 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 great. Just want to make sure those legs get seared too. Yeah, this is just a really fun little dish. We're having some fun today. Frog leg stir fry? Sure, why not? Stir fry anything you want to. All right. We're looking pretty good here. So let's go ahead and just remove these. Just got this nice fried shrimps, frog's legs. Perfect. So now what I want to do is deglaze this pan. You've got all that goodness that's sort of sticking to the bottom there. So again, anytime you're adding alcohol to your pan, it's a good idea to remove from the heat if you don't want a huge flame up on you, which I would not recommend. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. And now what that's going to do is that's going to release all the stuff from the bottom of the pan. which is exactly what we want to have happen. And then just go ahead and kick this around. I almost forgot my shallots. Now, you would generally want to do your shallots before you put your wine in and saute them off and get them nice and soft. I forgot to do that because I was focused on how cool the frog legs were. Not a big deal. Go ahead and just slice up some shallot. And toss that in like so. And start to get that cooked off. Ooh. There we go. It's looking good. Looking good, looking good, looking good. So I've got some butter here. We'll add in. We'll start to cook off those shallots. Like so. Put in a few tablespoons of butter. Get that working. Get that nice and melted. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And since I use that wine, I'm going to use a little bit of additional cooking wine here. I'll bring it back up once these shallots are softened to kind of rebuild my sauce. So yeah, and this is going to be really nice. You're watching Flavor in the Fond. You bet. Got to get that off the bottom of the pan. It's important. So this is looking pretty nice here. And we're going to want to finish it with a bit of parsley. So I've got my parsley here. So I'm just going to grab a small little bunch of. And give that kind of a nice rough chop. Those shallots are starting to soften up real nicely. Got a pretty good foundation for our sauce going down, which is exactly what we want to have happen. Sort of rough chop. You can chop it as finely or as roughly as you want. If I'm finishing a sauce, I personally like it a little bit on the smaller side, but it does not matter to me what you do or how you do it. All right. So those shallots have gotten nice and soft. That wine is reduced down. Got some great flavor. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I've got this little cooking wine here. This is Japanese cooking wine, actually. Normally I would just use regular white wine. So we're gonna get that going. Reducing. This is looking great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my heat way down. In fact, I'm actually going to remove this from the pan at first, because what I want to do is I want to start adding some cold butter to this. And this is going to help us create our sauce. So we want to emulsify the butter in. We don't want it to fully melt and separate. We're just trying to make a nice little pan sauce here. So we'll get this cold butter in. Cold butter is what you want for this sort of thing. Again, it's going to keep it nice and tight. I'm using this weird little measuring spoon because this butter was cold and this was the only metal spoon I could find. But it'll work. So now that we've got our butter in, I'm going to take it. I'm going to kind of go on and off the heat as I need and just sort of swirl this around. So I'm just going to swirl this butter into the sauce. You've got nice, rich, sort of caramelized color going on here from the shallots and from that flour. This is perfect. So we just want to melt this in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is looking great. Season it with a little bit of salt. Salt's right here in front of me. Perfect. And again, I'm just sort of swirling that butter in to just kind of work it. And just to warm these things through, go ahead and just set them in the sauce for a few minutes. Not even a few minutes, just a few seconds. Just to sort of warm them in the sauce. Real, real nice. And let's get a plate. So I realized I didn't do what I said I was going to do and use the shells. So normally what you would do is after you pull the shellfish out, you put your shallots in with the shells, saute those off until the shallots are sweated down, and the shells have a nice caramelization to them. And then you would add your wine and then your butter and finish that way. Which we did not do. We're a little backwards today, but that's okay. It happens. This is looking great. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of give this a nice tip in the sauce so it gets nice and warm. It's looking really good. So let's go ahead and build our plate. Our frog's legs. Go ahead and turn that down. We'll put some shrimp just around the outside of our plate here. It smells really good. Yes, just a fun little plate of food. Now for our sauce, which is all nice and ready to go, let's add some parsley to it. And then of course a squeeze of fresh lemon. Just brighten it all up. Swirl that all around like so. And then we'll go ahead and just kind of pour over everything. Nice and rich. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And of course, garnish with a little bit more fresh parsley. And we have ourselves a dish worthy of Star Wars Day. Let's take a look there. Nice, we got all that nice caramelized seafood in there. It's just been cooked through. We've got our shrimp, which have been nice and seared. Just perfect. We got that rich, deep sauce. It's got the white wine in there. It's got the butter. It's got the shallot. Perfect. Again, frog's legs, shrimp, Star Wars Day. Come on now. Looks super good. Smells super good. Very excited to try this. Yeah, hopefully you have some fun with your Star Wars Days festivities today. You know, it's a beautiful day outside right now, which is crazy. Thought it was supposed to rain all day. But yeah, hopefully you make something good for dinner, watch some Star Wars tonight, have some fun. It's always about eating good food and having a good time, right? So thanks for tuning in again today. Really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have some fun stuff going on. I got some good things planned that I'm very excited for, so check us out then. Otherwise, as always, stay safe, eat well, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. With polenta, it would all totally rock. Rice, polenta, anything like that, super good. But again, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day.